Don't vote Trump. Don't vote Trump. Don't vote Trump. This is good.
Screen share. Hello there, everyone. My name is Jeff Harden, and today I've got my final presentation for you. Is supply chain management. Let's get started. So here's a slide about the topics covered today, and these topics include what is supply chain management, two parts of supply chain management, an overview example of supply chain management at work, the effect of supply chain management on a business, and then a conclusion, as always, to wrap everything up. So that's what we got going on today. Let's get started. So to start, what is supply chain management? And in the most basic form, it is the management of the flow of goods and services. And this involves movement and storage of raw materials, work in process inventory, and finished goods from point of origin to point of consumption. And this includes all businesses involved with the creation, delivery of, and selling of a product. And so supply chain management really just segregates useful and wasteful activities and product development. So supply chain management, what it does is it takes useful activities and product development and implements them into the processes that need to be implemented into, and eliminates wasteful activities in an attempt to streamline the business processes. And the goals of supply chain management include creating net value for a company, building a competitive infrastructure, leveraging worldwide logistics, synchronizing supply with demand, and measuring performance. Now, let's move on to the two parts of supply chain management. And there are two main parts, as I said before, and the first part here is primary activities. And your primary activities include inbound logistics, which is arranging the inbound movements of materials. Operations, which is managing the processes that converts inputs to outputs. Outbound logistics are processes related to the movement of the final product. Marketing and sales is selling a product and the processes for creating it. And finally, service. And this is all activities required to keep the product working effectively. And now moving on to part number two. Part number two is the support activities. And support activities in the supply chain management model include infrastructure, which is just the stuff like accounting and legal services, your finance department and public relations, all of that stuff. Basically, it's the infrastructure that keeps the core of the business functioning. Then you have HR management, which is all activities involved in hiring, training, and developing personnel for the company. Third, you've got technology development, which is just equipment and technical knowledge utilized in a firm's conversion of inputs to outputs. And finally, procurement, which is the acquisition of goods from an outside source. So on the following slide, I have provided a graphic that I find helpful to visualize a little bit each of the subcomponents of the primary and support activities. So here is that graphic. And on the top, you can see the support activities, and on the bottom, the primary activities. And just take a look and notice how everything kind of fits together. And it gives you some examples, which I thought was incredibly helpful. So, and to further reinforce the idea of supply chain management, I have provided a brief overview example of a supply chain management model in action a little bit. And so I always use Starbucks as an example for this because everybody knows Starbucks, and it's easy to visualize the processes that come with the supply chain management model within Starbucks. So we're going to follow the two parts, the two main activities in each subcategory of through for Starbucks, and kind of take a look at how they function for this business. So, of course, to start, we have the primary activities of the supply chain management model. And for Starbucks, the inbound logistics consists of stuff like selecting coffee beans and the transportation of coffee beans to storage and moving them from storage to stores. Basically moving the product in so that they can convert it into an output. Operations would be the sale of the products in the 21,000 Starbucks locations around the world. Outbound logistics, Starbucks doesn't do a whole lot of outbound logistics because they keep everything that they do is within the company. They don't outsource any of their transportation or their purchasing, procurement. Nothing is outsourced by Starbucks. They want to ensure quality, so they do it all themselves. Therefore, there's not a whole lot of outbound logistics happening. Sales, Starbucks markets on a need basis. So essentially what they do is when they have a new product coming out, or a new coffee blend, something like that, that needs marketing and they want to boost sales with it, then they'll market for that. And then the sales portion of this, of course, is just selling their product, the coffee. And finally, service. This is an attempt by Starbucks to build customer loyalty through service. And now moving on to part number 2, the support activities. So infrastructure is the management, finance, and accounting, etc. departments that are required to keep every store in Starbucks operational. The human resources management would be the oversight and motivation of a committed workforce in Starbucks, and I'm sure you've all heard of work. They take care of their employees and they motivate them to be their best and make Starbucks the best. So, and then technology development, and this is just the utilization of new technology to improve business performance. So an example of this within Starbucks might be new coffee machines that produce better coffee with less wasted coffee beans, or big coffee bean roasters that roast quicker in order to streamline the process of making coffee. And then lastly, we have procurement, which is purchasing the materials needed to make the final product, which would in this case be coffee, and all of the machinery required to roast the coffee and brew it, etc., etc. Now we're going to move on to the supply chain model, the effect of a supply chain model on a business. So the supply chain management on a business can really boost customer service because it assures that products are of the correct quality and are delivered and sold in a fair and timely manner, which of course would make a customer happy. It improves your bottom line because it decreases the use of large fixed assets like plants and warehouses. So it decreases the usage of these plants and warehouses and stuff down to the minimum amount, while still maximizing profits in the use of these. So this also increases cash flow because these processes are being expedited and everything is shipped and received quickly, and this means that profits are moving quickly also. In addition to these two, supply chain management also reduces waste. It essentially trims the fat of the business by reducing wasteful activities. It allows for an inventory buffer. It allows for better sales forecasting, and of course, with the better sales forecasting, that means that increased accuracy in all information transferred within the company is increased. So in conclusion, the supply chain management model is incredibly important to businesses today because it can allow you to efficiently streamline your business, maximizing profits, ensuring customer satisfaction, and making sure your business runs smoothly without a hitch, all because you reduce wasteful activities. So of course, the two main components, which would be your primary and support activities, and the primary activities, obviously, as they are defined, are the main activities in supply chain management that make the biggest difference. But the support activities are the legs of the table in this case, I would say, because they support the primary activities and make sure that they are being functioned properly and implemented properly. And as stated on the last slide, the supply chain management can seriously impact your business, and that goes for if it is wrongly implemented. You could have a terrible impact on your business. It could really cost you a lot of money if you implement supply chain management in a very bad fashion, a very uncaring fashion. So you need to be careful when you're implementing it, but when it is implemented carefully, supply chain management can become one of the most important tools that is utilized within your business. It will continue to shift and become more pronounced as the technology for supply chain management develops and aids businesses in becoming more and more efficient. So this has been my presentation on supply chain management. I hope you learned a little something. I'm glad you guys stuck around to listen to me talk about all 7 topics, and yeah, I'll see you around.